Okay, today we are going to read chapter 22 from Blood on the River. This will be starting on page 175, and we have a small group who each will be acting out parts. So, Emma, who will you be?
Sam.
And Caroline, who will you be?
Captain Smith.
Felicia? Kanta. Yeah, we haven't even met him yet, so we're not even sure how to pronounce his name. Karma, who will you be?
Narrator.
And Summer, who will you be?
I'll be other natives.
And Ethan Jessup.
I will be Richard.
Oops, Ethan, I shouldn't say last names. Are your parents going to be mad if I do that?
No.
Okay. All right, so we load up 2 barges in the Discovery for the trip to Wakamoco. We hope to bring all 3 of the vessels back laden with food. The first night we stop at the Warakoyak village. What do I do if I can't pronounce that?
Just say the first letter.
Yes, and are welcomed as guests. Chief Sasinticum shares his pipe of tobacco with Captain Smith and shares some advice as well.
I listen hard to understand the Algonquin words. Chief Thornton will treat you kindly, but do not trust him. He says he has sent for you, and only to slit your throats. Captain Smith does not seem surprised, and I realize he has already guessed that this might be a trap.
Captain Smith.
We keep our guns ready.
He says in his choppy Algonquin. Then he looks at me. I leave boy with you. He asks Chief S.
Now, who just said, I leave boy with you? Because that's kind of a question, right? He's asking, like, can I leave the boy with you? Who said that?
Captain Smith.
Good, Felicia. Captain Smith said it. Do you want to try it, Caroline?
And I leave boy with you.
Then he asked Chief S.
I send messenger to him. If I dead, boy go to Jamestown and tell others.
Oh.
This chills me to my bones. I want to object to tell Captain Smith not to go. Why is he will
Break it apart. You got it.
why is he willingly
Good.
walking into a trap?
You know what they mean by that? Willingly. Why is he
Freely walking to it.
exactly on his own, just walking right into a trap? Why would he do that? Okay, keep going.
We are surviving our own. We are surviving our own grain. I want to tell him. Captain Newport will be back soon. Let us all return to Jamestown tomorrow and wait for the supply ship. But I don't say anything. It is not my place. Captain S. agrees. Captain Smith and the other men will go to Wakamoco in the morning. I will stay in the W village and wait. If Captain Smith is killed, I will return to Jamestown and bring the news. The next morning, I watched the Discovery sail away with Captain Smith at her helm. I wonder if it will be the last time I see him. I push down sadness. I have already lost Reverend Hunt. I don't want to lose Captain Smith as well. I tell myself that he is wily and smart, and will not easily fall into Chief Plowton's trap.
Do you guys remember what that wily word means?
Clever.
Excellent.
And helm means control of the ship.
Very good. Excellent. You got that vocabulary. Okay, keep going.
The W Village is a busy place, and I want to do my share of the work.
But when I try to help two girls with their pounding of corn into meal, Kainta, Chief S's son, pulls me away. That work is for the women to do, he says. Oops, who's Kainta? Sorry.
That woman is for the women to do.
He says.
I will show you men's work.
He takes me into the forest. There is a thin layer of snow on the dead leaves, and my feet crunch loudly on them. He stops, and he looks at me, frowning. Can you visualize that? Kainta, show me a frown. Like, what in the world? You are very loud. Oops,
You are very loud.
he says. He inspects my shoes.
My mother will make you
What are those shoes that Native Americans wear? They're made of leather. They wrap them. Moccasins? It's close.
Moccasins.
Moccasins. There you go. Yeah. He looks around, finds a sapling that seems to be just right for what he's searching for, and cuts it down with his hatchet.
I will teach you how to make a bow and arrow.
He says, working with wood and stone is a good way to keep my mind off of what might be happening to Captain Smith. Kainta teaches me how to peel the bark off of the sapling, cut notches for the bowstring, and string it with a strong gut. We make several arrow shafts from straight thin wood. He shows me how to make an arrowhead, chipping a piece of rock until it's the right shape. It is a slow process, and I ruin several pieces of rock before I get it right. But finally, I am able to make my first arrowhead. Then I tie it to a shaft and balance the shaft with feathers so that it will shoot straight. Can you guys visualize all of that?
Yeah.
When we grow hungry, we go to the communal cook fire. Communal. It's a similar word to other words we have.
Like community?
Awesome. What is community?
Like everyone can
Something
go
else
that
Like-
place.
That's right.
In that-
Everyone.
The
Community. Right. See how they have that common word part? Then there we find a large clay pot filled with hominy and venison stew, fish on the grill, and bread baking in the hot ashes on the ground. Now, just to take another pause, do you remember what I was telling you about trying to visualize you being in the middle of the village? What senses can you be using to help you comprehend what's going on?
Smell.
You smell that fish on the grill? Yum. And what about what else is going on around that fire?
Hear the
Like
Yeah,
smoke.
like you,
You
can
can
crack
smell
it, like
smoke
kids
crackling.
laughing.
Kids laughing. What else? What else is being cooked
When I'm
though?
talking,
Like the bread being
The bread
stew.
baking.
And
Yeah, the
stew.
stew, the hominy, exactly. Okay. Now, you're up, Felicia?
Eat. Says Kay. He tears off a piece of bread and uses an oyster shell to scoop stew right out of the pot. I do the same. It is delicious. This is what I have seen people do all day. Just come up to the pot and take what they want to eat. I realize that they have no meal times, no rationings for food, and I think that these brown people must be the wealthiest people on the earth.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there and talk about something else. Can you picture that big pot of food around the fire? Mm-hmm. Who gets to eat from there?
Everyone.
When?
Whenever they want.
Isn't that crazy?
That's much better than what the settlers are doing.
Right. Because what do the settlers have?
They have meal times and
They have meal times.
they all have to
have
come
like a
and
specific time that they do
And
every-
finish it.
and they have a specific, what else? What's that R word? They're each are ration. Very good. They're each rationed a certain amount
of food that they
right? Now, how many of you can go anywhere, anytime you want, go in and make something out of your kitchen?
Nope.
No, we're like,
Nobody,
okay, I have to
everything.
wait till mom says it's breakfast, or dad says it's lunch, or grandma says it's dinner, right? I just can't go cook whenever I want.
I wish I could.
I have to.
I know,
I'll
it's,
be in all
it's such a different way of
As long
living.
as I ask my parents and they have a supervision for me, and then I can
Yeah, and maybe a snack. I don't think your parents would want you to have something really large, because then you'd ruin your
Appetite.
appetite for supper or for dinner.
dinner.
Okay, boys and girls, you can go ahead and stop. We're going to